Hello, this is Andrew Mount for GG. I'm here to talk to you about the 145 at York on Wednesday, the first race of the fantastic 4-day Ebor meeting on the Knavesmire. Now, in particular, I want to mention a fine offer that our friends at Betfair have come up with. This is the £20 free bet win streak for the Betfair exchange. Now, they're offering new and existing customers a £20 free bet on that opener, and if you find the winner, you're going to be entitled to more free bets. So I'm going to try and help you find the winner of that tricky 5 furlong and 89-yard handicap. And I'll start off by opposing Istanbul, the only 3-year-old in the lineup. 3-year-olds are 0 from 14 in this race in the last 10 years, and not one of them is placed. Now, can we narrow the field further using the draw? Perhaps. Historically, you want to be drawn middle to low. They tend to blast off down the centre and race in arrowhead formation. We did have El Astronaute winning from a high draw here a couple of years ago when the stand side was favoured, but generally I'm looking to be drawn around sort of stall 10, 11, 12, maybe a little bit lower. There's pace all over the track, particularly from Acclaim the Nation. If you could have a bet on who's going to be in front after 100 yards, I think Acclaim the Nation would be the one. He was second at Glorious Goodwood last time out, drawn in stall 9, and although his front-running style is generally favoured at York, there's so much pace in the race that I think something's going to come from a little further back, and perhaps a chase leaders or track leaders kind of ride rather than an out-and-out front-runner. So, if we're not going with Acclaim the Nation, who are we going for? The market's headed by Jawal, who's improved since drop back to this 5 furlong trip. He was very impressive at Ascot last time, winning by more than 2 lengths and clocking a fast time in the process. You could argue that he was flattered because the first 5 home that day, I think, came from the 5 highest draws. But he won so easily, he left the impression he'd probably have won wherever he was drawn on the track. So I'd certainly have Jawal on my shortlist. He's coming out of stall 11, so he's perfectly drawn next to, very near to the front-running Acclaim the Nation to get a good toe into the race. He's been well found in the market, was the best price 6 to 1 at the time of recording. Now, Arecibo, the second favourite, I want to be against. For me, he's best in small fields. He's often unlucky in running, but that's because he doesn't handle traffic. He's had 15 goes in fields of 10 or more runners, and he's lost all 15, so he's not for me. Similar comments apply to Aplomb. He's a bit of a cliff horse. He'll have his fans again, and he's also near the head of the market. However, like Arecibo, all his wins have come in small fields in 8 or fewer runners, so he's not for me. Others I want to side with include Only Spoofing, who won at Glorious Goodwood last time out, beating Acclaim the Nation. Now, he's sometimes made the running, but he seems much happier just sitting behind a fast pace, as he did at Goodwood, when he had Acclaim the Nation to tow him along again. Now, interestingly, he's got a really good record following a win. If we'd backed him on his first start immediately following a victory, we'd have found 4 winners and 3 places from 7 runs. So that's a good reason for backing Only Spoofing each way here. And again, he's nicely drawn in the middle of the track. Others I want to side with include Lahore, coming out of stall 5. He's improved massively since drop to this trip, winning at Doncaster, getting unlucky at Ascot when playing up in the stalls. You can draw a line through that. And he bounced back to win here at York next time when perhaps he wasn't in the quickest part of the track, but still won anyway. So Lahore high on the shortlist. And if you want one at a bigger price, maybe try Tarbouche for Paul Midgley. Now, my theory about Tarbouche is that he too is best in small fields. However, when he's run in a split field and raced with just a handful of rivals, he's often run really well. And his 2 runs at York have been fantastic efforts. Earlier this season, he was 4th at 40 to 1 in listed company over this 5 furlong trip, beaten less than a length. And last year, he ran in this race when you wanted to be drawn middle to low. He was drawn high towards the stand side rail. He's finished 8th of the 22 runners, but he's actually won the race in his group. So if that stand side group aren't disadvantaged this year, so there's plenty of pace there, then maybe Tarbouche at around about 25 to 1, 33 to 1 can give us a run for our money. So in summary, Jawal, a solid favourite at 6 to 1 or thereabouts. I prefer the claims of Lahore, open to further improvement at this trip, and a course and distance winner. And Only Spoofing and Tarbouche complete my shortlist of 4. That's it. Until tomorrow, don't forget to take advantage of that fantastic Betfair £20 free bet winning streak. Cheers.